The singular sensation. Unique, distinct, and one of a kind. Many of the singular sensations that redefined Broadway kicked off in the wonderful decade of the 1970s, with such shows as Pippin and Follies, marked by luscious sets, rich storytelling, and a certain wow factor. And then there's A Chorus Line, the show that flipped Broadway on its head. Don't get me wrong. We do see a mystifying mirror in the back of the stage as a line of gold-hatted ensemble members sing to raucous applause. There is glamour, but it's not in quite the same sense. The chorus line itself is a celebration of surviving as an actor, and the stories that come with it gave Chorus Line its signature heart and rawness that would be its legacy. Today we're looking at A Chorus Line, past and present. The 1970s were a time right in the middle of societal changes, and as a result, we saw Broadway musicals go darker than before, with shows that no longer existed to keep audiences happy, but to challenge thinking and ponder life. We see Sondheim's Company reinvent what a musical looks like and sounds like, and Pippin inventing a new style of dance. Times were changing, and Broadway was cutting edge for the culture and defining just how art played into the times. A Chorus Line starts all the way in 1974 in Nicholas Exercise Center in New York, with a taped session hosted by Michael Bennett and dancer Michonne Peacock and rising choreographer Tony Stevens for swings and ensemble members on Broadway. The group engaged in telling stories of their experiences in show business, from overbearing professors to getting judged on their bodies alone for casting, to their sexualities. It all told their dreams, their experiences, and their journeys to professional actors. More than anything, their vulnerability told a collective story, tied by the common idea. And soon, Bennett had pitched the idea to Joseph Papp, the head of the New York Shakespeare Festival, who agreed to open it as a musical. Though the show is defying the odds by not including a formal plot structure, it was the 1970s after all. To create this show, Bennett sought out a composer in Marvin Hamlisch, a three-time Oscar winner, and novelist James Kirkwood and dancer Nicholas Dante, who inspired the character of Paul, to shape the recordings into a solid script. They crafted the show, casted 8 original members from the recordings, and the story began to take shape. Until as the workshop began, it became clear to the producers that it was missing something. And then there was Donna McKechnie, who played Cassie. McKechnie was no stranger to the Broadway stage, having starred in Promises, Promises, On the Town, and the National Tour of Company. Throughout the process, McKechnie became keen on just what wasn't working. During her iconic song, The Music and the Mirror, she was originally dancing with 4 men. But just before opening, she spoke up, and it became a solo showcase for the character of Cassie. This helped elevate the number, but the problem still existed. Who got the role in the end? Was all of this work for nothing? McKechnie was close with Bennett, even marrying him after the show had ended, and she decided to speak up that among the 8 actors at the end that received the roles, Cassie should have been one of them. And the producers agreed. Her idea worked, and the show opened at the Public Theater on April 15, 1975, to glowing reviews and unanimous praise, with the New York Times calling it tremendous, perhaps terrific. Soon it became clear that a Broadway transfer would be imminent, and every night, as they watched Kelly Bishop, aka Emily Gilmore, Nancy Lane, and Kay Cole perform at the ballet, they knew this would be something special for Broadway. It wouldn't be long until A Chorus Line made its Broadway debut, as it opened July 25th of the same year at the Shubert Theater. The show made no notable changes, and the critics reacted just as enthusiastically, with New York Times writer Clive Barnes describing it as a celebration, and describing Marvin Hamlisch's score as far more vital than he first thought, and far better. The show was unique with regards to Tony season, as it opened in the summer and would have to last the full year to gain any real Tony's boost. The show was settling around $250,000 a week, which is equivalent to $1.3 million today, which for a show as minimal as Chorus Line meant big profits for the Public Theater. The show weathered the winter easily, and the time finally came for Tony nominations, and A Chorus Line was showered with nominations, from Best Musical to Best Score to Best Book to an incredible 5 acting nominations, along with nods for choreography, costume, lighting, and Bennett's direction. The show benefited greatly from this acknowledgement, and the race was officially on. The show was competing against Chicago, which actually got mixed reviews, Bubbling Brown Sugar, and Pacific Overtures, a Sondheim musical. But when the Tony Award day came, the buzz would only continue for A Chorus Line, as it won the big 3, including Best Musical, along with Best Featured Actress for our friend Kelly Bishop, Best Leading Actress for Donna McKechnie,
So personal, and a personal experience that taught me so much about performing and about people and humanity.
Best Featured Actor for Sammy Williams, Best Director for Bennett and Bob Avian,
I guess at this moment on this stage I'm experiencing the high point of my life.
Best Choreography, and Best Lighting Design. The news was in. A Chorus Line was officially the talk of the town. The show was officially Broadway royalty and would continue to be as it ran for 14 more years, shattering box office records and reinvigorating the public to come to Broadway. Just before it closed in 1990, it had grossed over $146 million, and over 6 million people had seen the show. It became the longest running musical, and to commemorate, Bennett assembled 300 former and current ACL actors on the stage in a stunning fashion for the grand, singular sensation number. Though it was dethroned by Cats, it's still remembered as musical theater gargantuan, and even saw a successful revival in 2006 with many more productions around the world. Which leads me back home. Way back home at the bottom of Ohio and the top of Kentucky lies Cincinnati, my home and also home to some really awesome theater. From Broadway tours to riveting regional premieres, this city has some really great art scenes. This production of A Chorus Line took me to the Playhouse in the Park, a Tony Award-winning regional theater in Cincinnati, known for their production of Company, which won Best Revival at the 2007 Tonys, along with winning the 2004 Tony for Best Regional Theater.
Very, very big thank you to the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, where the arts, all the arts, performing and visual, are flourishing. You are the best.
The brand new facility was designed with accessibility in mind and was gorgeously conceived to show off the surrounding forest, and the view from the park was stunning. And look at this theater. I was so excited, and I can honestly say this production did not let me down. Besides the fact that Drew Lachey and many Broadway vets took the stage, the show was also gorgeously designed. In this warehouse dance studio vibe, all in a muted cream color with a fun reveal for the final number. The dancing was dazzling, and although it's hard to forget the original, they reinvented their choreography in a gorgeous way, and each Chorus Line member had an unforgettable moment. The show made me laugh, cry, and truly get why I'm making this video. This show is undeniable. A Chorus Line transcended what a Broadway musical could be, and to witness its legacy, stunning live form, was something I will carry with me. Behind this playbill is a 15-year run that helped fund the public theater and lead it to its greatness today, introducing such groundbreaking works as Fun Home and Hamilton, and laid the groundwork for future shows to shatter the status quo and make their way to Cincinnati. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so I can keep delivering you content on everything Broadway. Thanks for watching.